In this presentation, I'm going to be discussing the final outcomes of our live design brief, including my finished designs and the finished website homepage redesign for eDecks. eDecks is a family-run company that was founded in 1986, who specialise in decking, timber and roofing supplies. In this assignment, we were asked to collaborate with the business department to work in groups to create materials for a marketing campaign designed to help eDecks with their winter sales, as well as to redesign their website to make it less cluttered. The brief of this assignment is to help eDecks increase sales throughout winter, remove inventory build-up, increase customer loyalty during downtime, encourage off-season sales, help the business team to design visual assets for their marketing campaign, and to redesign the website homepage with my class group. The demographic stated in the initial eDecks PowerPoint includes first-time homeowners aged 33 and onwards, gardeners, DIY enthusiasts, and small-scale landscapers. When approaching this assignment, we had to consider the problem space for the website, which included the layout being extremely cluttered and overwhelming. There was an inconsistency in branding and typography, with several different fonts that hindered the visual hierarchy instead of enforcing it, too many buttons and menus that were very dissuading and made the website difficult to navigate. The website also had a poor user experience, with aggressive pop-ups offering discounts the second you visited, creating a distrustful visit in addition to outdated design aesthetics, a cluttered hero, and inconsistency in shape and branding, all of which added to the website being an accessibility issue for those with visual impairments. The campaign for the business students included multiple points of topic, which meant in order to help them, our designs needed to address issues such as customer engagement and how to keep users engaged during off-season, product awareness to showcase products that are useful or relevant in winter. However, after looking at the website, there was an actual complete lack of winter-relevant products, which made the task more difficult. Sales promotions, ideas for discounts, bundles and seasonal offers, and content ideas, which was where we came in, meaning how to communicate the campaign effectively through visual media such as social media content, email, in-store promotions, videos and web redesign. The early stages had us start by looking at the website and identifying the problem space, as discussed, and incorporating this into a big mood board on Figma. Issues we identified included there being a lot going on visually with no areas for the eyes to rest, there being a lack thereof on seasonal sections, images for promos which needed visual improvement, as well as branding that resembled commonly in microtransaction games such as Gardenscapes, creating an off-putting brand overall. We also proposed that they were overusing the bright orange colour, specifically with the use of small typography on a white background, which is very hard to read. At first there was confusion on how we were to help the marketing students due to lack of communication and last-minute requests. Therefore, it was proposed in James' lesson that the class split the work across our groups, from physical redesign such as posters, billboards and van design, to online redesign such as redesigning the website layout, which allowed us to still create visuals for our project without having to rely on the business groups getting organised. We worked under the help of our designated art directors. Features we decided to incorporate into our redesign included the header layout from Wix, which was much more easy to navigate than eDecks. The B&Q seasonal section with the scrolling feature, which was missing completely from the eDecks website, which would help us to advertise the seasonal or winter items that we were supposed to help shift. I also really liked the strong, clear and spacious branding and hero promo image for the Robert DS website, and wanted to incorporate this structure for the eDecks promotional banners, which I will be discussing further on in the video. In the FigJam board we collated typography ideas for fonts that were readable and that established good strong branding. I decided that HWT Arts, Amaranth Regular and Alphon were a really nice combination that were capable of establishing a visual hierarchy with enough differentials to be able to separate levels of information, yet without looking like they didn't belong together. Following this, we had a section for brainstorming colour palettes, and with that came the orange and brown colours that we ended up going for with our finished typographical standards. Jess also suggested a winter-themed palette of cool blues, which I felt looked really professional, but might be more suited for the eRoofs website instead. In the eDex meeting, the employees stated that the company did not want to shift away from their colour scheme, so we went with the orange palette. Here are the mock-ups that Jess put together, using all the competitor research we gathered on the FigJam board, incorporating the best features into several wireframe choices. During this time, we had a meeting with our art director, who gave us valuable advice and told us that the mock-up 4 had the most potential, which is the wireframe we decided to take forward into the web design. As for the logo, I decided to redesign it by just removing some of the clutter around it and removing the clunky white background to make it look more smooth and modern, and to fit with the branding of the typographical standards. We kept the texturing on the capital letter to keep it conceptual and representing wood and decking, but changed the colours from harsh black to a more complementary brown, which fitted the palette better. This is the final typographical standards, in which I decided to get rid of the Alphan and just use the HWT arts in different sizing and colour to establish heading and subheading, but kept the Amaranth as body copy because it was easy to read and creates a good visual hierarchy. I decided on the 4 colours of off-white for the background, a light orange for contrast highlight, strong orange for main highlights, and brown for body copy and subheadings. Overall, I think this is a major improvement from the inconsistency in branding found on the original website. Here is a closer look at wireframe 4 and the features we were wanting to incorporate into the redesign. It includes a much smaller hero than the original website, and we also redacted a lot of the overwhelming menus and buttons into 4 main categories, which would theoretically lead to a catalogue page featuring the rest of the subcategories, making it much easier and more precise for users to find what they came to the website for. Alongside it is the footer I designed, which was originally going to be the main header, but we decided it would look better with the phone number at the bottom of the homepage, since those who scroll to the bottom are most likely genuinely interested in the products. During this assignment, we did experience difficulties with the business groups, which we had to overcome. We experienced what it might be like to deal with a tough and unorganised client for the first time, which was a valuable experience for our futures in the field, and taught us some things to look out for when choosing to accept jobs from clients, including short notice demands, vague ideas that were set up so that we would have to do the most of the conceptualising and legwork for the actual campaign, as well as the visual materials, arguing and confusion amongst themselves and about their undecided project goals, little to no turnout for physical meetings and lack of input and communication, disregarding our work and using AI instead of taking advantage of having a visual team at hand, and a misunderstanding of what it is we do as graphic designers, and as a result, them not knowing what it is they wanted to gain from our time together and sacrificing quality of their own work in the process. We were able to overcome these problems by enforcing healthy boundaries and focusing on our own work for the project instead. In the following slides are my redesigns of the eDex carousel adverts on the homepage, underneath the main hero. I used the Robert DS website's adverts as inspiration for how I wanted to lay out the information, as they had good spacing and guided the eyes to the information using colour and shape. This resulted in the ads being much easier to read, less cluttered, and making them look more professional and higher quality, all aiding in building trust with users. Here you can see the original banner ads and how cluttered and displeasing to the eye they were. Finally, to finish this video, I will show the finished homepage redesign, including the carousel ads and the sliding seasonal favourites feature. Overall, I think that this redesign, although not perfect, is a huge improvement to the original website. After the redesign, the website is easy to understand and navigate. It uses colour to re-establish a visual hierarchy, and has cut down on redundant fonts to make the information accessible to users. Through the use of a seasonal favourites bar, which can be changed from month to month by the eDex team, users can now find items that could be sought after during the winter, helping to shift more of the winter stock, as well as allowing eDex to showcase some of their more commonly searched for items, and helping users spend less time searching for what they need and exiting the site due to it being inaccessible. Thank you for watching.